All right. By the way, just getting started. If you're here, it looks like on YouTube we got somebody kind of queued up in the wings, so hopefully you're there. I always try to do a sound check at the first, make sure that my audios are all set up on both sides. So if you hear me and you're willing to drop me a line, say hi, let me know that you can hear me. That would be great. We got about 9 minutes or so before I officially will get started with the show, if you will. But right now I'm just doing a warm up, getting things started and make sure the sound check's good and everything's going well. Welcome again, YouTube. YouTube's starting out even stronger than the other side. Well, I mean, based on the whole two people that are here right now. But yeah, YouTube has become a new favorite for my followers on the Devil's Advocate. So let me know if you hear the sound. Hopefully you can hear the sound. I need a sound check from somebody on the YouTube side just to make sure that you guys have the audio going. In the meantime, we're waiting just a little bit for TikTok to get fired up, get people into that side as well. I simultaneously try to cast at least how you doing, guys? Diana, can you hear me, by the way? I see you on YouTube posting a message. Can you hear the sound on that side? I just want to make sure the audio is doing fine. And again, I'm going to get started in about 8 minutes as far as the official intro, monologue, all that good stuff like that. Boy, do I have some exciting news about my intros, I think. Well, it's exciting for me. I don't know if it'll be exciting for you. I'll explain that at the top of the hour. So thanks. It looks like I got some people coming in finally on the TikTok side. If you could give me some likes, let me know that you're there and that get this promoted for some other people. That'd be great. Cloud, you said yeah. Hopefully that means yeah, you can hear me. So the audio is hopefully good on the TikTok side. It looks like Diana is also, it looks like, on the YouTube side, or the TikTok side and the YouTube side. Hey, how you doing? Thank you for saying hi. Appreciate that very much. So is that Carrie J? Yeah. Hey, thanks for saying hi to me. Can you? I think we got sound, but I just want to double check. TikTok, you got sound? I haven't heard anybody tell me that they actually are hearing me on the TikTok side, but I have no reason to believe you don't hear me. But I figure by now, if you see my mouth moving and you can't, you'd let me know. Okay, sound is good, Carolyn. Thank you. Looks good. Audio's good. Okay, I can stop Thank God, I can stop asking about the audio. I got thumbs up on both sides for the audio. Clear communication that the audio is working on both sides. Thank you so much. And Cloud, thank you for being a member on the member only side. I love that I get this cute little emoji when you're a member and I can see who my members are. So thank you very much for being a member and supporting the YouTube side and all the other things, because I know you support the channel on many different ways. So thank you so much. We're just going to get started about here in a bit. And thank you, by the way, for the Karen Duncan too for helping us out on the TikTok side. We're going to be started here in about 7 minutes. In the meantime, we're just kind of chilling, letting the room build up a little bit. Holy crap! I had a live last night with Birdie, and I'm going to talk about this at the top of the hour as well. But he made me an intro that I think we're going to be able to have a countdown before the thing goes live, so you don't have to listen to me do this all the time. And then a video that'll play at the beginning, and that video he made me is fire. Oh my God. I can't wait to show it off. I'm going to do a pre-look for members only to let you get a pre-look at the video roll, the pre-roll that Birdie Bombshell made for me. Holy shit. What a cool deal. I'm so excited about that. I want to show it to you. It's going to be awesome. Thank you. I'm glad you made it to the live last night and that you enjoyed it. That live, I think Birdie said that was the biggest live he'd ever done on the channel. So I think we had like 1,100 people at one point. It was ridiculous. So yeah, it was so exciting. And Birdie and I have been working for a long time. Again, I don't want to tell you too much about that because I want to talk about it again at the top of the hour for those who are waiting for the top of the hour. Because I do try to give people a little bit of time to get warmed up and grab their favorite drink of choice and settle in. So let me just hold off on that a little bit, and then I'll cover that again. So I'm glad that you were there for last night. Yeah, so yeah, over 1,000 people. Yeah, I'm going to talk about that again at the top of the hour. But yeah, it was pretty exciting. I didn't even know. I was just in the flow, I was in the flow with them. And then afterwards he was like, holy crap, did you see the room? And I'm like, no. So yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit here coming up. Super cool. Super cool. All right, so By the way, let's see. I bought the book that you were talking about last night. I'm halfway through. Oh, you're halfway through it already. Holy crap. You're going to be ahead of me. And then when I get to a chapter, you're going to be like, oh, Devil's Advocates, you're so off. That's not how it goes. Because you'll be ahead of me. Good for you. Like, I have to do these at a pace. I've got a lot of work I'm doing. I do a lot, I'm sure you know, but I do a lot of long form videos, and I'm reviewing 2 books, one for Luigi Mangione and one for Brian Koberger's case, Idaho 4. And so I'm reading multiple books, and I'm cutting multiple videos, and I'm doing live streams, and I've got other personal shit like grocery shopping and things like that to do. And so you're going to be ahead of me if you already plowed through half that book. By the way, I'm assuming you mean you're on the Idaho 4 book and not the Elizabeth Rosenthal. The Luigi book is an American Sickness by Elizabeth Rosenthal, based on the idea that Luigi Mangione allegedly had written that that he couldn't explain all the problems with the healthcare system in the U.S., but that if you wanted to understand it, you should read Elizabeth Rosenthal's book, An American Sickness. And so we've been reading that. I've been going through. We're almost done with I think at 2 more videos at tops, I think, and we'll be done with American Sickness. So but it's not going to be as true crime-ish. It's more about the healthcare system, of which I interlace a lot of discussion on how it relates to United Healthcare, how it relates to Brian Thompson, how it relates to some of the allegations of Luigi. So all throughout the book, we're constantly reminded that the reason why we're reading this book is because of the Luigi Mangione case. But it's not so much a story about Luigi Mangione as it is about the healthcare system. So, and that on YouTube, that's called Luigi's Bookshelf series, and so we're like 20 parts in for An American Sickness. All right, just a few more minutes, and then we'll get started at the top of the hour. So cue up those. I don't know if I have any moderators here. Cloud, are you a moderator? If you're not a moderator, that would be a huge oversight. Let's make sure. Cloud, oh my gosh, you're not a moderator. Cloud, you are now a moderator of my YouTube channel. Sorry about the oversight. That is horrible of me. So now you have moderator privileges. Use it wisely. I tend to try to give people a little grace. So if you see somebody say something offensive, don't immediately ban them unless it was really offensive. And by the way, just for since you're a brand new moderator, my hope on the TikTok side, at least you can do this, is to mute somebody so they can stay in the stream as a first step. Ban them from the rest of the live and not forever from the channel as a second step, and then ban them from the channel altogether if they go past that. And a gradual step of punishments if they misbehave, unless it's so if it smells so good. No, if it is such a bad flagrant violation that warrants an immediate ban, do so. But here's the caveat. I would hate for a moderator to say something that some other moderator didn't understand that person's a moderator or a member or whatever, and then bans them when they're a paid member, and it wasn't something that was, well, maybe it was taken out of context. So just be careful. Just be careful. So we're going to get started in about 1.5 minutes or so. Yeah, Karen, thank you. I think I agree. The healthcare system is huge on my mind. I talk about it on a regular basis, especially in that American Sickness thing. That's the reason why I wanted to have that discussion. I think there's a bigger picture to the Luigi Mangione case, and we should not miss the opportunity to talk about healthcare in America now that we have a story that makes it first and forefront in our minds. All right, what are we looking at? It looks like I'm at the top of the hour. So let me say this about that. That's one of my favorite things to say. Let me say this about that. You're still banned on TikTok? Is it because of us? Cloud, let me know if it's one of my moderators that banned you on TikTok, and I'll get that sorted out. Or is it because TikTok banned you because of something you said. Anyways, we'll get that sorted out. Hopefully you can let me know, and I'll try to get to the bottom of that. So top of the hour, here we go. I wanted to let you know, normally on a stream when I do lives, which are, here's all the time slots. Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and Tuesdays and Thursdays at this time, which is 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Those are my live spots. In between those, of course, I'm doing long form videos on YouTube primarily. I'm working on how much I'm going to do with TikTok. I've been primarily on TikTok just doing short clips using AI, grabbing some stuff from my long form content and using that to kind of keep TikTok going. A friend of mine has indicated that those are not real informative, they're not real heavy hitters, and I should cut some actual videos for TikTok. The problem is that it's so hard for me, who is long-winded. You know, if you've watched my videos, I talk a lot and I never stop talking, and so it's hard for me to do something in 60 seconds for TikTok because I'm not a short form kind of guy. So I'm trying to work on that, and I'm trying to fix that, and we'll see how that goes. I might start cutting some videos for TikTok, but in the meantime, we're going to be trying this schedule. Like I said, Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 6 p.m. And Tuesdays and Thursdays at noon Pacific Standard Time. Also on Friday nights, I have an After Dark party, which is for adults only on Discord, but we stream that to my Backstage account. If all of that sounds confusing, hopefully it'll make more sense towards the end of the week as you hear it a few times. And that Backstage account thing is something we're not sure we're going to keep doing or not. Well, the Backstage account we're going to do, but whether or not we do the After Dark party, I don't know. There hasn't been a lot of people in it, but the people who go enjoy it. We have a few drinks, we talk crazy. Hey Jeff, thanks for saying hi on the YouTube side. So anyways, so that's kind of some of the stuff's going on. Last night, if you caught the live or didn't catch the live, let me tell you what happened last night. Birdie Bombshell, that's how he is on TikTok, on YouTube as well. It's just Birdie or at Birdie Bombshell, Bombshells plural, is his channel. In fact, since I got a video on the screen, why don't I just go and show that for you. I'm going to just pull this up real quick. Birdie Bombshells. There's Birdie. All right. So if you haven't seen, for some reason, Birdie's channel, Narrative Warfare, Birdie Bombshell, or just Birdie, he and I went live last night. What a great show that was. Wow. We had like 1,100 people in there at one point. It was the biggest, live that he had done on that channel so far. I didn't even know, because he was running all the the StreamYard, whatever we were using. He was running the channel, if you will. So I didn't even see it as far as the viewer count and stuff like that. I did see the chat, so I saw the chat. I didn't realize from the chat how many people were in that thing, but it was a great experience for both of us. We talked about Idaho 4 in great detail. If you haven't seen his show before, one of the coolest things he does that I want to think about doing myself. By the way, let me back up one hair. Normally I tell you what we're going to talk about for the live. I don't have an agenda, so that's why this is all just running monologue. Usually I'll tell you, hey, this is what we're going to talk about, and then I'll start getting into the talking about it. Tonight, or today's stream is going to be open questions and answers, so feel free to fire those out here even while I'm talking. Hopefully I have moderators that'll pin the best comments so I can get to it. But anyways, what I was going to say is he has a really cool feature that I want to implement on Devil's Advocates if he doesn't think I'm ripping him off. And I am pretty sure Birdie doesn't, because Birdie has this amazing intro he made for himself. It gave me the chills when I watched it. And he's like, dude, I'll do a video for you. And he made me an intro. I just watched it about 10 minutes ago. Holy shit, that is fire. I'm going to show that to you on members only just for a little bit. But I think the first time I'm going to roll that live for everybody is tomorrow night's live at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So my theory is going to be, not that you care too much about this, but I'm just letting you know, Birdie Bombshell made this amazing fire intro. So I think tomorrow night's live at 6 p.m. when you sign in a little early, you're going to see a countdown timer to the start of the show. And when it hits 0, it's going to roll Birdie Bombshell's promo that he made for me at the very beginning. It is fire. You should love it. If you're a member only, I'm going to have that posted in a little bit after this show so you can get a pre-look at what that looks like. Just a perk for the people who pay the $3 or whatever to get member only content. You'll just get a pre-look before tomorrow night. But wait till you see it. Holy crap. Birdie is he's really good at coming up with creative, cool shit and putting music together that kind of gives you the chills. It hypes things up. It makes you feel super cool. It's amazing. So Birdie and I have a good thing. I think we both have a very, very strong mutual respect for each other. I love talking to that guy, and apparently both of our audiences, my audience and his audience, always comment about how cool it is when the two of us go together. So enough about that. Hope you caught the show last night. Lots and lots of stuff about lots and lots of stuff about Idaho 4. What I was trying to say is one of the things he does that I want to implement, if he doesn't worry about me ripping him off, is he's got something called Hive Mind Finds. His community will send him little things, little video snippets or things they find on Reddit or 4chan from the past or stuff that he's dug up from the old, and they'll send it to him and say, hey, have you ever seen this, whatever. And so he goes through those at the start of his show about little snippets that maybe he's not prepared to do a long form video on, but like here's stuff from the Hive, right? Here's some stuff that they sent me. Let's take a look at this, and this. Thanks for these people. That's super cool. Love that format. I don't know what to call it on my side. I want to borrow that from him. Some people might say I want to steal that from him. In either case, I don't think he's going to have a problem. I'll rebrand it so it's not the Hive, of course, but that idea is super cool. So I look forward to doing that. I think we finally have a community size here at Devil's Advocates where you guys are already, a lot of you are already sending me private messages on TikTok with links to stuff. In fact, one of those things I want to talk about today is the Luigi Mangione surprise video that may suggest that indeed something I said from day one, that this may be a group of individuals who pulled it off. There's new stuff surfacing on Reddit and on the internet about a possible accomplice in the United Healthcare situation. So we'll talk about that in just a minute. So those are some of the things that I've got on tap. And so Birdie's on YouTube as well. Yes. So what else can I tell you about? Like I said, pre-roll, we're going to do that. We're going to try to implement this new Hive Mind Find, but not calling it that because that's a complete rip-off of Birdie, but the concept will be very similar. Yeah, so kind of along that lines in a way. Did you guys hear in the Luigi Mangione case, the video that's starting to spark people's attention, which is that, and I don't have it here on my screen. This is what's a shame. I should have been prepared for this, but I had some things that happened this morning and I got in here just at the last second. But there's that initial video footage of the shooter, whoever it is, coming out and shooting Brian Thompson in New York City. People have been so focused on the shooter that they haven't paid attention to there's a shadowy figure that does some suspicious things, it looks like, on camera in the background while the shooting is going on, which some people are starting to say, how did we all miss this guy? And who's this guy in all black in this other part of the picture? There are people who are starting to question now whether or not there was an accomplice caught on film that we all missed because everyone's eyes is on the foreground, which is the shooting of Brian Thompson, and you're missing what's happening in the background. So I've seen little clips of it. Sometimes you have to really slow the video down if you want to see this figure in the background, and then it just leads to question. Now, could it be a random bystander? Sure. But the point I'm making is it's starting to get traction on the internet. Yet Reddit is starting to talk about it. People are starting to talk about, is there an accomplice to this situation? Which again, I don't know if I like this term, but to toot my own horn, I hate that term. From day one, I said, what if this is multiple accomplices, and that they were using essentially the movie How to Blow Up a Pipeline as a group of individuals got together and pulled off something and then used basically decoys to lead law enforcement on a wild goose chase. So I've had several people reach out to me and said, oh my God, Devil's Advocates, you might have been right. There might have been multiple people involved in that shooting, and you may have nailed it. Now, I'm not trying to, I'm not going to go out there and beat down doors and ask everybody to give me credit. That's not what I'm going with it. But it's interesting to see that idea is getting a lot more traction now on this resurfaced video that we've all seen, but apparently missed some things in the background. What else is there to talk about? We saw a lot of new videos in the Idaho 4 last night. Oh, by the way, so again, I'm looking for questions. I'm starting to pay attention to the questions, and so I'm going to take those. But I cut a video this morning for the When the Night Comes Falling, chapters 20 and 21. I posted those. Those are live right now. I got another chapter of Luigi's Bookshelf scheduled for Thursday. It's scheduled, available for members only to look now, but it'll go live on Thursday. So that's what I was doing this morning in part. What was I going to say? There was something about the Idaho 4 video. Oh yeah, the videos. So we watched some videos last night that Birdie pulled up on screen, and it was that early. In fact, there was a chapter. He didn't even know this. This is like one of those things of coincidental. Birdie was talking about the Idaho 4 book and asking from, my opinions and what I'm doing with the Idaho Howard Bloom book. And one of the things I was prepared to talk to him about was Chronicles of Olivia. So there was a chapter in Howard Bloom we had just read about Olivia Vitale, who did Chronicles of Olivia, and how she got an interview with the Gonsalves family. What do you know? Before I had a chance to even explain all that, Birdie's like, hey, let's watch this video from the Chronicles of Olivia. And he pulled up the video. I hadn't seen the video. I just read about the video just recently in Howard Bloom's book. So he played that video. It was a really cool moment where, like, I'm going to tell him about this video, and he didn't know. He's just like, let's watch this video. And I'm like, that's the video I'm going to talk to you about here in a second. So that's super cool. The Devil's Den, thank you. Yes, I love that. About the hive mind finds, calling it the Devil's Den. That's a great idea. That might be the name of it. We'll work on the idea and the concept, but that's great. Thank you so much. By the way, if you're in on that kind of thing, send me your ideas. Send me your ideas for the idea of using that whole kind of concept that he has of taking all his viewers' little finds and stuff like that, because it's super cool. And again, hopefully Birdie doesn't go, oh my God, dude, are you trying to become me? Are you ripping off? No, I don't think he's not that kind of guy. He's all about both of us having success. So super great deal between the two of us. But anyways, so we watched that video of the Gonsalves family talking about the crimes, and there was so many shockers, because there was a moment, for example, where Christy Gonsalves talks about their niece calling them and informing them about the murders. That's how they found out about Kaylee being killed. And she says the niece reports it as somebody shot up the house. Everyone's been shot. And I about lost my shit right there on the live. I'm like, what do you mean everybody's been shot? It was a knife attack. What do you mean everybody's been shot? And as I watched the family continue to talk about it, never correcting it with something like, and of course by now we realized that nobody was shot. It was a knife attack. Never did they correct that. They kept talking about how everybody was shot. And I'm like, what the hell just happened? Like, how did I not hear the family saying, oh, we heard that everybody got shot, and then not correct it? Anyways, that blew my mind. Oh, Jim Schultz said you watched this morning's show. Awesome take. Which show is that? Is that on my side or Birdie's side? Or did you watch the live from last night? Anyways, so we watched that. We watched a video clip. And it was funny because Birdie surprises me sometimes with I just want to see, I know Devil's Advocates is going to catch this, but I don't want to tell him ahead of time. I'm just going to see if he catches it. And I'm like, oh my God, what pressure, right? Because he's like, I know Devil's Advocates is going to catch this, but I'm not going to tell him what it is. And I'm like, oh, pressure, because what if I don't catch what you catch, right? So he rolled a little clip from, I believe, it was a memorial service at the church for the victims of the family, including Kaylee Gonsalves. And there was a moment when Jack DeCoeur comes up and wraps his arms around Christy Gonsalves and gives her a hug. And Steve has it happens in a flash, but Steve looks, and there's just a complete look of contempt and disgust as he turns and walks away. And Jack DeCoeur makes eye contact with him, like, "Are we okay?" And Steve just gives him a complete look of contempt. And I thought, and I saw that, and I was like, "Holy shit!" And he's like, "Right?" And I'm like, it happened in an instant, but both of us caught it right away. We're like, what was that look? I mean, it's just a look. Maybe we misinterpreted it, but there was just a look. It was kind of like to get the F out of here. Which is funny because the Gonsalves family as a whole have repeatedly stated how much they're behind Jack DeCoeur and don't believe that he was involved. So it was a super interesting night of sneak peeks, videos I'd never seen, instant reactions. You got to see, those of you who follow my channel got to see my reactions of things I was seeing for the first time and see what kind of stuff I hit on and what I don't. So that was kind of fun. Also, though, nerve-wracking because I'd hate to see something and completely miss what everybody else sees. That would be embarrassing. Someone says here, Jeff H. says, there was a receipt I just saw for the Corner Club, or on the receipt, I think it said 30 vodka shots. Can be confused over Kaylee being shot from misunderstanding of someone telling the story about shots. I don't know. In the Chronicles of Olivia video, it was obvious Christy Gonsalves said the niece said that someone came in and shot up the house. That was clear as day. There was no, I can tell you that. The video that we saw, there was no mistake about it being alcohol shots. They said somebody came in and shot up the house and everyone was shot. And which I just completely was like, what the hell? So Yeah, there's some confusion on that. Christina, welcome, by the way. Thanks for coming in. Also a member on the YouTube site. Thank you so much. So let's see. Oh yeah, and then thank you, Carrie, on the TikTok side. So there was a moment. I don't know which interview it was. There was a moment where Christy Gonzalez and Olivia is on camera, and another individual. Gosh, I can't remember who the third individual was. But they're getting ready to be interviewed, and it's the pre-roll. It's like the cameraman setting up the audio and getting things ready, right? This gave me the chills when I saw it too. It was another one of those things. Let's see if Devil's Advocates catches this. And there's this moment where Christy, so Olivia's sitting next to her, and they're about to go on camera, but they're already being filmed, and I don't think the family realizes entirely that that's going to be aired, the stuff that's the pre-roll, getting the camera set up and the audio set up. And she says kind of very, very quietly, as if she doesn't want the cameras to pick it up or anybody to get it, but you can hear it clear as day. We got to get this right. Don't get mad. And I was like, what the fuck does that mean? We got to get this right. Don't get mad. The implication to me, and maybe I'm reading way too much into it, the implication to me is that there's a disagreement in the Gonzalez family about what happened. And they're going to tell their story for the cameras. They're going to tell their story for the media. And Christy's letting Olivia know right off the bat, we've got to get this right. Don't get mad, which indicates to me that Olivia's version of what's happening and Christy's version about what's happening are different, but they're going to do a unified, this is what we think on camera. Now, I could be wrong, but the whole, we got to get this right, don't get mad, is super interesting. Why would anybody be mad about telling the truth? Why would anybody be mad about saying that they have different feelings about it? But they've got to get it right for camera? Is that what's being said? So I don't want to run too far with these things, but holy shit, these are things I want to deep dive into later for long form videos. The devil's in the details. I love that. Mifo, that's great. The devil's in the details. Yes, that is so like I've said that before. I've said that phrase on my thing. I've joked and kind of gave a wink. I'm like, hey, by the way, the devil's in the details. But so I've done that before in a video, but that's awesome. So yeah, those things were weird. Yeah. So yeah, it was one right before the video, right before they went live on a recording. So anyway, any questions? By the way, so again, we're kind of open. I don't have a formal thing today. I've got nothing else on tap. This is the only thing I've got on tap. I've recorded the long form video. I am going to probably do a couple more videos for rolling out later in the week today because my evening is free and I don't have anything going on. So I'll probably get some stuff going there. I'm going to get that awesome video roll posted so you guys can check that out. But in the meantime, let me know if you guys have any questions. Did you catch last night's show? Do you have any questions about either Luigi Mangione or, because remember, lately all we talk about is the Idaho 4 case because Luigi's case has been pretty quiet. But I don't want to forget Luigi. Again, I just recorded a video that's going to come out in a couple days on the American sickness, which is Luigi's case. But and again, we talked at the early about how there's this video circulating. And next time I will try to have those little cool, as Birdie calls them, hive mind finds, but things, little stuff that I'm not ready to go 100% live on, and because that's what I was afraid of. I don't go live with that kind of stuff or talk about it because I haven't vetted it fully. But as long as I make it clear at the very beginning that these are things I'm getting in emails and comments that people are making and I haven't vetted it fully, let's take a look, and we'll just put it on the back burner and think about it later. We won't go too deep into it. We'll do that. So what else do we got? Any other comments, questions? Email address, a great email address to use would be, it's long, devilsadvocatestiktok@gmail.com. That was the first email we set up for the company. We didn't even know we were going to be on YouTube. So like a moron, I didn't just use something generic like Devil's Advocates 2024. Actually, I think that email would work too, but don't use that right now. So I don't even know why I said it. But Devil's Advocates TikTok@gmail.com would be a great email address. You can also find that, I think, on my website, devilsadvocates.info, if that's easier to remember. And there you should have a contact thing. It'll tell you the email address to use. So that should be there too. Two things, this is from Jeff H. Two things in Idaho case that few talk about are the K-bar as hammer, and Xana's last TikTok comment, never forget the foundation of the bathtub. Right. So, Jeff, that's the perfect example. A perfect example of one of those things that I would like to do is that kind of like, I'm not ready to do a long form video about it, but these are things people are talking about. These are things I've heard. Here's the basics of it. And then we'll get into a long form video if it has meat. So that's a perfect example. You're right. I've heard about the never forget about the foundation of the bathtub comment. The hammer one, I'm not sure I've heard, other than we've heard things like Steve Gonzalez saying that they or he punched Kaylee in the face, which was new information. Every time Steve Gonzalez goes on, it seems like he gives us some new piece of information about the details of the injuries. So then there was people who said, well, it wasn't just punched in the face, it was a hammer. And then somebody else said it wasn't just that, they were hit with the beanbag in the face with a gun. And there's a lot of different theories, which I tend not to even mention like I just did now, because I tend to wait until I can vet those things. But again, if I have a special part of the show that's dedicated to these are just things that are out there in the wind, and I'm not going to dig too deep into it. Perfect place for that. Let's see. What else do we got here? Can we talk about the video with the multiple people? Kimberly, I wish I could find that clip. Because the only place I know I've got it is in TikTok and private message, and I don't want to show people my backside of TikTok and who sends me private messages, because I could get it there, but I'm not prepared to show it on the screen. So unfortunately, I can't quite do that unless somebody's got a link. If somebody has a video link to the video that everybody's talking about that shows the shadowy figure in the background, maybe send that to me and I can pull that up on YouTube for us to look at. Two things in the, okay, my favorite, talking about the Idaho case. Cool. I don't understand why he would mention money owing to him at such an inappropriate time. There's a lot of questions to be asked about how the family reacts and whether or not it's we consider it normal. And I hate getting into that because everybody grieves differently, and it's easy to micromanage. I want to tell you a personal story. I'm going to tell you a personal story about grieving and why I'm hesitant about stuff like this. So this is very, very personal. I was into photography. My father and I started the largest photography club in the Pacific Northwest where we live. We had a really cool thing going. My father and I went to a photography conference in the Tacoma area. At that conference, my dad wanted to go to an early morning conference session that my roommate and I, the three of us were staying together. This is a very personal story. So the three of us were staying together in a hotel room. My dad wanted to go to the early morning session that we didn't want to go to. And so he said, how about this? I'll go to the early morning session and then I'll come back and pick you guys up for the late morning session. And we said, perfect. So my roommate and I stayed. My dad went to the session. When he came back, my dad suffered a massive heart attack outside the hotel. And I heard all of the sirens at the hotel, and my dad was late. My dad's never late. And I knew immediately something was wrong. I was in shock. I went down to the lobby, walked out and saw my dad on the cement being worked on with paramedics. A little emotional for me. But the point being is, when I walked back in to the hotel, people said, how are you? You know, who was that? And I said, oh, that's my dad. How is he? I said, he died. And I walked in and I grabbed my shet and I left the house. I left the apartment. Not the apartment, the hotel room. The point being is that people saw what I did that day and thought to myself, oh my God, there's something suspicious. The guy doesn't even give a shit. His dad just died. I was in shock, people. I was in shock. And so what I'm saying, and same thing happened at the hospital. When I was at the hospital, and I didn't know my dad died, he was actually being worked on. Sorry, I got a little bit of, it was when I came back from the hospital and I knew my dad had died that I did the whole he died, because I was informed he had died before I came back to the hospital. But the point being is that when I was at the hospital, same thing. A doctor came out from the hospital to meet me as I pulled up in the parking lot. No doctor's going to walk out to you. I already knew what that was going to be about. He told me my dad didn't make it, and I knew immediately. There's no reason why he's coming out. And so I was flat. I was cold. I was in shock. I was like, okay. You know, like, what am I supposed to say? Like, I was stunned. I didn't break down until much later. Now, this personal rant is all to explain to you, I know firsthand what it's like to have everybody question you about the way you reacted after a murder. Now, I can tell you for myself that I can't talk about certain parts of my dad's death that day without getting emotional. And so I questioned a little bit Steve Gonzalez weeks after, and they're talking very flatly and emotionlessly about the death of their daughter, and I questioned that. But then again, I have been questioned about the way that I handled the situation. So there you have it. All right, anything else? Sorry about that big, huge, long one. Said no one ever, right? So check out Murder, Metal, Mayhem, Lana, True Crime, Harsh Reality, and Pavarotti. All great shows, and Once Upon a Crime. Thank you, Jim Stutz. It's funny that you mentioned that. I recently did a video where I talked at the end of the video of some of the shows that I watch on a regular basis. Harsh Reality was at the top of that list. Pavarotti was on there. Also, Nika Neuro Nuggets and Crime Circus was on my list. I had somebody even kind of call me to the carpet and say, huh, you didn't list Birdie as one of your top guys. That was for a reason. I explained it. I apologized to Birdie too. It's like, hey, no sign of disrespect that I didn't put you on that little list of, hey, here's some people that cover Idaho 4, and I didn't put you on the list. You know, Birdie's got more of a live show from my perspective. Is these other people have long form content videos that come out in 20 or 30 seconds, and that's what I watch. I watch those 20 to 30 minute videos and kind of keep up on what they're saying on the subject. So it didn't even occur to me at the time, but some people thought, like, how did you not call out Birdie? Sorry about that. There's a lot of content. Alana at Truth and Transparency, I don't watch a lot of her stuff. I don't watch a lot at all of her stuff, but top notch. Lots of people watch her. I should be watching her more, but there is only so many hours in a day, and so I just be honest, I don't watch a lot of it. But yeah, great suggestions. Thank you for sharing those with me as well. Let's see, what else do we got in here? Steve Gonzalez keeps dropping one or two keyword phrases to redirect the other people's search. That's weird. I agree. And by the way, I want to point out something. This is minor, but I want to. Okay, since we don't have a major subject going on, I'm going to take a moment to talk about pronunciation. When I first started covering Luigi Mangione, I called him Luigi Mangione. Luigi Mangione. And I had people ripping me a new ass. Please, Devil's Advocates, would you say the guy's name correctly? It's so disrespectful. It's not Mangione, it's Mangione, right? Because that's an Italian. It's a Mangione, right? So they're like, say his name correctly. And there was YouTube videos from Sicilians and Italians telling you, you pronounce it Mangione, okay? So I changed it. And from that day forward, I said Mangione. And I even had some people praising me. Thank you for finally saying his name correctly. It's not Mangione. And yet to this day, I bristle that every single news report that comes out about him, it's Mangione. And even worse is his own attorney, Karen Agnifilo. Oh, by the way, Agnifilo is how most people should pronounce it in Italian, but it's Agnifilo. She even pronounces that way. And she pronounced Luigi's name as Mangione. And I'm like, oh my God, what do I go with now? I'm so confused because I'm trying to be respectful, as people say. So the same thing happened to me just recently. People are petty, and I don't know how to, you can't please everybody all the time. I'm on a huge rant, but here's the thing. So I've been saying Steve Gonzalez since the beginning of the whole story. One day, somebody busts my nuts and says, oh my God, if you can't pronounce the guy's name right, you shouldn't be talking about it. It's Goncalves with the hard C. So I'm like, oh my God, here we go again. So I look up online and it's like, okay, Gonçalves is a Portugal or Portuguese name pronounced with a hard C, Goncalves. So I made a video in which I changed it to Goncalves. And I got more people busting my nuts. Oh my God, you're such an idiot. If you don't know how to pronounce the Gonzalez family name, then you shouldn't be covering this story. And I'm just like, oh my God, like I literally can't please you guys. So then I started doing a video where I said both, Gonzalez, Goncalves, and I'm like, forget it. If you guys don't like my content, you don't like my content. Whether I pronounce it Mangione or Mangione or Gonsalves or Goncalves, somebody's going to still bust my nuts. And the fact that I let myself get spun up on it, I'm ashamed. Because I let myself get spun up on it trying to do the right thing. I'm done trying to do the right thing. Call him Steve. Steve G. Anyways, so there's my rant for I can't win, people. And did you hear did you guys hear me talk about the worst, most vile insult? I get a lot of insults. I'll be brief. Did you hear? Today I was told, I hope that your daughters meet somebody like Brian Koberger and someone murders your daughters because how disrespectful you are to the family. Somebody literally told me they hope that I have daughters and that my daughters will get murdered because I'm being disrespectful to the victims' families, and I should see what it feels like. Top of the list for vileness, in my opinion. I even told them, I said, that is the top of the list for vile. Good job. You want somebody to prove a point, so you hope somebody murders your kids. Nice. What the hell indeed is wrong with people? What else do we got? Tony Stevenson Balaclava leaves enough faces to see he's white. You don't think? Oh, that was so, you guys are talking. You guys are talking. Judge pronounced Kernodle as Canoodle. Yeah. See, that's the thing. Like, I'm gonna drop it. We need to stop being so petty. You know, here's the bottom line is all of you know who we're talking about. So if you can't get over the pronunciation, I would argue maybe you shouldn't be doing watching videos, because if the pronunciation's where you're gonna hang up and not, you know damn well who we're talking about. So, anyways. What else? That's the type of people that should be removed from TikTok or any social media. Yeah. Oddly enough, I didn't ban that person. That would probably be enough of a thing to ban somebody for, but I didn't ban them. I just said, wow, you take the cake for the most vile thing I think I've heard against me this whole time. What else do we got? Thanks, Beach Babe. Yeah, that was brutal. Fortunately, it didn't sting. It was more like, are people really that horrible? And again, I don't want to judge all society because that would be unfair. You guys are not that way. But yeah, there's some rude things. People do some real personal. So, yeah. As a side tangent, I said I was going to drop the whole thing, but as a side tangent, somebody said something to the effect of, you must have serious mental health issues that you apologize so much. And then followed by some insult, like you're really a horrible person. You must have mental health issues and you're a horrible person. And I thought to myself, what kind of person, for example, would say, here's an equivalent statement. You must have really low IQ. You're dumb as hell. And I'm like, if they have a low IQ, they can't help it. And you insulting them saying, you must be mentally handicapped. You're fucking dumb. How does that help anybody? And how horrible is it of you as a person to admit that you think somebody actually has a handicap that they can't help and then insult them for it? Anyways. Okay, enough of that. What else do we got? I yell at people in comments all the time, but I don't post it. That's what I've got to do too. I've got to do that as well. Like, just do the response, type it up, get it all out of your system, and then just hit delete. I'm like, I'm not going to send that. Unfortunately, I do engage a little bit, but I shouldn't. All right, what else we got? Any other comments, questions about things that we talked about last night? Again, I'm going to go live at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time tomorrow night. And when I do, I'm hoping to roll out a new video promo to the live. So in theory, what's going to happen tomorrow night will be kind of cool. There'll be a countdown timer to the start of the live. Instead of me talking and rambling, it'll just be a countdown timer. So I won't do this whole like big, huge grab your popcorn thing that I always do. And it'll just be a countdown. And then when the thing hits 0, it'll roll a new promo that Birdie Bombshell made for me. It is sweet. Can't wait to show it off. And then I'll come on and we'll do the show. So that'll be my warm-up instead of me. I'm not up on Luigi. When is the next hearing? The next hearing on Luigi is scheduled for June 26th. Thank you, Kimberly, for beating me to that. That's the next scheduled hearing. However, the next thing that we're probably going to hear about, I would imagine, is going to happen sooner than that. We're still waiting to hear from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania on whether or not the arrest in Altoona, Pennsylvania was legal or not, or to what extent evidence will be suppressed. I think that announcement might get made before June 26th. In addition, Karen Ignifilo has filed a motion requesting that the state postpone or drop the state case and just focus on only the federal case. And I expect we might hear from that before June 26th. So let's see. But yeah, I'm waiting for new things. In the meantime, it seems like all we've got to wait for on Luigi Mangione is whether or not he's going to update his letter log. So we'll see if, but I'm waiting for new news. I might start getting into, now that we have this video out there with some other person, I might do another deep dive or a long form video about it. So at least Leilani on YouTube says, I love it when you go on rants though. So that's good, because I do go on some rants. And again, going back to the theme of you can't please all the people all the time. I have people who tell me they like that I talk fast and they enjoy it because it keeps them their brain focused. And then I've got other people telling me, dude, you would do so much better if you'd slow the hell down. You sound like you're on crack. Slow down, your channel will grow. And other people are like, I watch you because you talk fast. So I can't win. Or dude, get to the point and get out. Don't sit there and go on rants. Other people are like, I come here because I like when you go on rants. You can't please all the people all the time, so I just got to try to be me. What else do we got? Anybody else? I have talked fast my entire life. On the positive side, here's the best part. What if I could stay on topic and talk fast? I could give 3 times the amount of three times the amount of information that somebody else could, because I could say it 3 times faster. The problem is that I talk so fast I can go on rants and still get the same amount of content out, but I just went on a rant for like a big portion. I don't know if that makes any sense. All right. Linz, I love DA's ranty ramblings. Yeah, I heard somebody tell me one time that I was the perfect kind of voice for the book reviews for somebody with dyslexia, and I didn't understand that. But like, I don't know if you understand this, but for somebody with dyslexia like me, you're perfect. And I'm like, are you insulting me, or you're serious? I think they were serious, and that's my wife's like, quit assuming people are insulting you. I'm like, have you seen my comments? People love to insult me. But anyways, maybe it was serious. Now Jeremy, that's random. I like you because you wear a hat and have facial hair. I didn't know that wasn't a good. Is that a weird combo, or an unusual or a rare combo to have? I don't know. To be fair, it is what it is. I have taken to liking certain hats. I want to add more hats to my collection. I'm not a big hat wearer. I haven't been a big hat wearer, but since I've been on YouTube, sunglasses during the day and hats are kind of what I do for my videos, and I've kind of dug it. So now I want to add more hats to my collection. The problem is because I'm new to hats, talk about rambling, is because I'm new to hats, there's hats that come with these pre-formed bills, and then there's hats that have a flat as hell bill. The flat as hell bill I found looks stupid. One of my favorite hats was from a hockey club that I have. It came with the flat bill. I can't bend that thing. Talk about a rant that has nothing to do with nothing. Anyways, I love hats, but I need to get an Everett Silvertips hat that has a pre-formed bill, because I can't seem to get the bill. Like, maybe all you hat lovers out there can tell me how to get my bill shaped into supposedly a rubber band and some kind of treatment, and letting it sit for a couple days might give me that bend that I want. But yeah, those flat bills look dumb. But then again, I probably am past the point of giving a shit what I look like for the most part. So anyways, random compliment. Thank you very much. I loved it. What else do we have? Harsh Ole has great hats as well. Yeah, Harsh Reality is probably my favorite long-form content creator. Someone one time told me, it was a big compliment to me, you're like the American Harsh Reality. And I think there's a lot of things he and I have in common. Although I think he usually wears that icon hat. I don't even know what icon means. I didn't look it up. He often has different colored hats that say icon. What is icon? I don't know. Is that his own thing, or is it a company I don't know about? I feel stupid, but I don't know what icon is. I just always think of you with the hat on. Same with Birdie, right, Sue? Isn't that funny? Like, my favorite creators, if you will, that we're going live with and stuff like that are Harsh. He wears a hat. Birdie, he wears a hat. I think other people are. Now, Pavarotti wears a beanie cap a lot of time. But anyways, it's funny that we do have a similar look. And I assure you, I'm not trying to copy their look. It just is something that became a thing. Steve likes hex hats. I thought about wearing a hex. I thought about getting, it's funny, I've seen Steve's hex hat, and I thought about getting one and putting one on in the live, but I thought people won't understand, and they'll start saying horrible things about me. I was going to do it just to see what people, without even mentioning it, and just have a hex hat one day and see if the comments just explode on me. But I decided I don't have the nerve to do that. But now I was going to do it, and if I do it now, I just ruined it. See, I was going to see what people say if I just put on a hex hat and didn't comment about it. Don't be Steve. Let's see what else. As a fellow Brit, I'm very proud of Harsh. Harsh is a badass. Harsh one time said something as a side rant. Harsh one time said something. Why is it that I seem to care more about your American legal system than you guys do? Like, he's over here defending the presumption of innocence until proven guilty, and he can't understand why he, being a Brit, it seems to be more concerned about upholding our own legal system than we are. And I'm like, well said. Well said. So anyways. Let's see. Do-do-do. Unfiltered Lucky, awesome hats. This is great. I'm loving it. I'm a huge hat fan, crime fan. Unfiltered Lucky, right. I've seen Unfiltered Lucky, and he wears hats as well. By the way, as a quick aside to you guys, because I'm finally starting to get some traction on YouTube, right? The account's starting to grow on YouTube. We blew up this week on that channel. Now that I'm starting to become a little more well-known, let me tell you guys this. I would love it if you guys have any kind of warm, fuzzy connections with other content creators that you think would be willing to go on a live with me and talk. Let me know. Reach out to them. Pre-grease the skid. Say, hey, Devil's Advocates is looking for people to go on. Let us both know we're interested. And if we're both interested, I'll check out their content if I'm not already familiar with it, and we'll try to get them on a live. So I've been afraid to reach out to too many people because I'm small fish, and I figure they're like, who the hell is Devil's Advocates? You have nothing to give me. I'm not going to go on a live with you. But if you guys think that somebody might take Devil's Advocates serious, and you think it would be I've been trying to get Harsh. I sent a message to Harsh on one of his videos. I would literally chew off my left arm to have a live with you. He hasn't responded to it. So I don't know if I don't think Harsh is the kind of guy that would just ignore it, but he hasn't responded to it. Pavarotti, I would love to have Pavarotti. I don't always say super flattering things about Pavarotti. I will say this. Pavarotti is sharp. I've said this over and over again. Pavarotti's got a great mind. He's sharp. He's got great points. He does great research. I have a few negative things against Pav, but believe me, if he didn't hate me from some of the negative things I've shared, because I've said plenty of positive things, if he didn't hate me from the negative things, I'd give the guy a big, huge hug and a handshake, although I don't think he's a hugging kind of guy. The point being is that I would love to have Pavarotti on a show. I have no bad feelings about Pavarotti, even if I'm critical of some of his things. So let's keep that out there as well. Thank you, Frosty. I will. Birdie and I, Birdie is committed, he says. We are both committed to doing a regular Monday thing, so that should be a regular thing for us. Sometimes life gets in the way. If he has a hot take that just happened, there was a time one time when we just kind of agreed not to have me go because he had a huge video come out on Sunday, for example, and everybody wanted him to follow up on it, and he had me in the back. Thank you, Jeremy Pearson, by the way, for the gift on YouTube. Thank you so much. Means a lot. Gifts are super important, more than you think. Subscribers, just subscribing is enough. That whole thing people say, like, subscribe, notification bell, that is 100% true. We live and die for that. But gifts, memberships, the thing that turns into tangible money to support the channel, super, super, super helpful for us to be able to continue to do this. So thank you so much, Jeremy Pearson, for giving the gift. That's amazing. And also on TikTok, I get gifts over there. I'm sorry if I missed one of those over here as well. I know I'm getting gifts sent in right now from Mifo and Luigi Revolution's always giving gifts, like all you guys. Nicole, thank you so much. So I appreciate that. Thank you for the subscription there, Vivian. I appreciate that so much. I hope you'll enjoy my content. I do cover, in case you don't know, I do cover 2 cases right now. I'm planning on covering more cases if case load time allows, but we're covering Luigi Mangione and Idaho 4. I do have the playlists pretty much sorted out, so you should be able to do that. I may have missed a video or two that may be in the wrong place because sometimes I'm sloppy and I forget and I don't change the settings and I repost something that was marked the wrong way. If you see a mistake, let me know. But you should be able to follow whatever case that you want, subscribe to the playlist you want, get just the stuff you want, or you can listen to just the whole general channel and get both cases. Nicole, I don't know if you're saying I'm amazing or somebody else that you're commenting, but if it was to me, thank you so much for the praise and for the compliment. It does help because, again, the negative stuff does eat at you after a while. So it is really, as they say, you have to hear 10 positive things to counteract 1 negative. I'm that guy. I'm that guy that 1 negative thing, I'll be sitting there replaying. Why does somebody have to say that? Why does somebody have to talk that way to me? And I'm like, oh my God, stop, dude. Like, stop. So anyways, I'm that guy though. I'm working on it. I'm getting better. So what else do we got? Anything else? They showed your video on Doga's channel. They showed my video on Doga's channel. Doga's. Yesterday, Outcast was playing my videos. That was super cool. Like it was super weird, you know, like you find out people are playing your videos and talking about your videos. It's a super weird moment for me. That all happened almost overnight. I went from nobody knows who the hell I am. I get a lot of comments when people would drop in. They're like, hey, I can't believe I'm just finding you now. I don't know. It's been a good week. I guess it just takes a video or two to kind of pop off. Pav doesn't go live. Okay, so Pav's not going to go live. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, to be clear, Pavarotti, sharp guy. I don't agree with all his theories. I'm critical sometimes of his stuff, but I think that's good for dialogue. I don't mind you guys being critical of my stuff. I don't mind it when you guys tell me, hey, Devil's Advocates, I think you're wrong about this. I don't have a problem with that at all. Just don't make it personal and tell me that you want my children murdered. That's a little bit much. By the way, I don't have children. I told somebody in a video, I was like, hey, the joke's on them. They think they hurt me really bad with the whole I hope somebody murders your daughters. I don't even have any daughters, so we don't have to worry about that. And I was going I'm not going to tell them that because I want them to feel good about themselves that they said they hope my daughters get murdered. But the point being is that don't make it personal, but you are totally welcome to tell me that you disagree with me. I got no problems. Dago, sorry. Perfect. Yes, I feel like I don't want to be disrespectful to people. I'm hearing some people's names for the first time. I have not been doing this as long as you guys might think. So when you guys think that I've missed something or I don't know, how do you not know about somebody? I'm not big. I haven't been doing this for a long time. So there's that. What else do we got? At first I thought you jumped from Birdie's log to Outcast and I saw that he was using video. Yeah. I went over, I dropped in. I don't know if you saw it. I dropped in on Outcast video while he was playing my videos and I'm like, hey. And it was kind of a funny moment. I didn't catch him saying shit about me, so he wasn't talking shit. And in fact, several times he said, hey, go follow Devil's Advocates. I don't know if he said go follow Devil's Advocates because I dropped in there. Again, I dropped in just to kind of say hi, and I heard him say something positive, so he wasn't ripping on me. And so I said hey, and it was a cool moment, and I felt like that was really neat. We chatted for a little bit, and then I backed out, and I followed his account because I wasn't following. Now I'm following his account, so it's all good. It gets tough on here in YouTube streets. Yeah, no shit. It gets tough. It's worse on TikTok, I think. I don't know. Actually, the vile comments are heavier on TikTok, but I don't know. He was playing one of your videos and you saying good things and talking about it. Yeah, he was very cool when I dropped in. He was very supportive of the channel. I think he said, we've been watching your videos for like an hour and a half. And I'm like, how do you even do that and avoid copyright infringements? Not that I'm going to turn him in. I'm not. I wouldn't turn somebody in for commenting on my videos and playing in them. That's not what I'm saying. But YouTube has like detection systems, right, to see if you're playing somebody else's thing, and you kind of have to stop videos every so often and comment, and maybe that's what he was doing. So when he said he'd been watching a video of mine for like an hour and a half, I'm like, well, how do you even get away with that? But again, if you stop and you comment and you talk about it, that's how you do it, and I'm okay with that. Outcast can be fierce. Okay, so maybe he shredded me a little, and that's okay. Again, I don't mind people taking criticism of my work. I really don't. It's just when it's personal. Maybe I felt maybe I was invisible here. DW, what did I miss something from Tara Lynn? Hey guys, I'm Tara. Sorry, I just jumped in. Hey Tara, sorry I missed you. Sorry I missed you there. All right, what else? What are your thoughts on the roommates? Are you asking me what my thoughts are on the roommates? And are you talking about the surviving roommates? Is that what you're talking about? Just get a thick skin, DA, and don't let it bother you. I am working on it. I watch now Jay Shetty on YouTube, who teaches you how to not let negative comments get to you. So Jay Shetty is my new addiction on YouTube to teach me how to not take things so seriously. The surviving roommates. How do I sum up the surviving roommates as best as I can? My gut feeling is the surviving roommates know a lot more than they're saying. The surviving roommates they were not clueless of what happened in that house when they called in the unconscious female phone call. My gut feeling is Dylan in particular tried everything that she could to make sure that somebody else would stumble upon the crime scene and call it in so that she didn't have to be the one to call it in. And she was texting people to come over. She left potentially the front door open so that somebody would stumble in on the crime scene and report it so that she didn't have to be the one to report it. Those are my gut feelings. Dylan wanted to make sure somebody else reported it, and after 8 hours or 7.5 hours go by and nobody stumbled across upon the scene, something had to be done, and her hand was forced, and so they placed the 911 call. Somebody placed the 911 call. Who directed it? Who prompted it? The point being is that at some point it became ridiculous and they couldn't put it off any longer. That's my gut feeling. And I realize that a lot of you, this is what prompted somebody to say, I hope somebody murders your kids because you're disgusting for mentioning that. So people think that I'm shaming, I'm victim blaming, right? You're victim blaming. Dylan's just a victim, claiming that she was somehow involved or told a lie. I'm sorry. We know that her confession was coerced and changed 4 times. We know she said she's not sure she even saw it. She may have dreamt the whole thing. That's on record. So if I start questioning her story, it's because she herself has said, I'm not sure what really happened. I'm not sure I saw it. I may have dreamt the thing. It may not have even happened. I didn't see this person. I can't identify Brian Koberger, but they want to put her on the stand and say, I identified 5'10", bushy eyebrows, and it's Brian Koberger. That's what they want her to do. There's no way she can do that because her whole confession had to be coerced to get to the point where they can even think about putting her on the stand. So I don't know how that's going to work out. Hey, wow, we get to... Nice. So, by the way, it looks like Luigi Revolution is handing out some gift memberships. This is a cool thing. The system, from what I understand, the system is randomly going to give a membership to the member-only content on YouTube to people, and it's randomly doing that. Like, we don't get to pick, and so it looks like some people are getting some free membership invites. You have to accept that invite. It won't cost you anything. This is the way I understand it, so correct me if I'm wrong. It's not going to cost you anything to accept that invite. If you accept the invite at the end of the period, they will ask you if you want to continue paying for it and put a credit card on file for it. You don't have to do that. It's a free look at member-only content. So, and again, the people who got awarded, just so you know, weren't awarded because Luigi Revolution likes you and doesn't like other people. It's a random lottery system. So thank you so much, Luigi Revolution, for doing that. Looks like some people got some free gifts, so hopefully you guys that get a free look at that will enjoy it. Remember, by the way, because we're getting wrapped up, we're wrapping up here pretty soon, Birdie Bombshell has this really cool intro to his video that gave me the chills when I watched it. I commented on that and he's like, dude, I'm going to make one for you. And so he did. He made me a video montage to start out my lives or whatever. And I watched it this morning before coming on here. It was phenomenal. Phenomenal. And so for members only, I'm going to give you guys a pre-look here. As soon as we're done with this live, I'm going to load that video up for members only so you can take a look at it. But it'll go live to everyone for free. It'll go live to everyone tomorrow night's live. That's the plan at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's my next time I'm going live on YouTube and TikTok, and I'm planning on having Birdie Bombshell's new intro he made for me go live. The idea, and it should be exciting. I'm getting excited talking about it. The idea is, rather than me talking for 8 to 9 minutes before the live starts, there'll be a countdown timer, which is cool. Countdown timer saying the live's going to start in whatever 5 minutes, and when it hits the top, it's going to roll Birdie's new intro. Hopefully I can do all this and know for good that you're hearing sound. I'll be so pissed if it rolls the video and I had something wrong with the sound and you're getting no sound, because it has to be a full thing. You need to see it in its entirety. It's beautiful. So that'll be exciting. When that rolls, we'll go live. It'll be a new way to roll out and start lives. I'm excited about it. I just don't know how to do it on the TikTok side. I know it's going to translate well for YouTube. I don't know how it's going to do. TikTok may not get to see that. I don't know. We'll see if I can somehow mirror cast that, send the feed to YouTube Studio or TikTok Studio. I got a lot of work to do just to get the audio visual worked out for tomorrow. All right. Anybody else? Frosty, yes. I recommend getting into the Luigi case. I hope you'll find it very, very, very interesting. What else? What time tomorrow? I'm Diana. Diana, tomorrow's live is at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. That's a mouthful for some reason. So let me repeat one more time my schedule. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I'm currently trying to go live simultaneously on TikTok and YouTube. 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. I usually go for about an hour to an hour and a half, and I simulcast on both of those things. Then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I go live at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. This allows people in other time zones where that 6 p.m. time zone doesn't work for them to have a shot to see the live. So Tuesdays and Thursdays are at noon. Oftentimes the same content you'll see on Monday night will be done Tuesday morning. The thing you saw Wednesday night will be done on Thursday morning. But it's never the same twice, because I do this. I do it live off the cuff. I never say the same thing twice, but I might have the same show notes in front of me, talking points, right? And then Friday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I have what's called Devil's Advocates After Dark. So my main channel on YouTube, this is my close for today. My main channel on YouTube is Devil's Advocates 2024. My backup account, or my backstage account, is called Devil's Advocates Backstage. That's where I host the After Dark party. It's called the Backstage Pass or After Dark party. It happens after my live closes on the main channel. I will then fire up a live on the Backstage Pass, and it'll be a Discord channel. If you get a hold of me ahead of time, I'll give you the Discord channel. You can get signed in, and you're welcome to chit chat all the time in the Discord channel all during the week. I will also, during that live for the public, I'll put the Discord channel on the screen so you'll have time during the 6 p.m. show to get that. And then we'll do the After Dark, which is a little bit more loose, a little bit more dirty, a little bit more vulgar. It contains things not fit for children, which is why we make it 18 and older. All right. I'm in Japan now, so wow, Japan. What time is it in Japan? Right now, my local time is 1 o'clock p.m. Pacific Standard Time. What time is it in Japan? That's so cool. I love that we have an international audience. Although it sounds like you're not necessarily from Japan, you're in Japan right now, if I'm reading that right. Reading comprehension skills, right? So it doesn't mean you're necessarily from Japan, but you're in Japan right now. Don't forget to thumbs up for DA to help him out. Thank you. Yes, thank you very much. Like, subscribe, notification bell if you want to get notified of the next time I go live. Make sure you hit all those things so that you can get notified. We're building a really cool thing. Thank you, Charmed from Australia. Love all the international people. We've got people from all over the world literally watching this show. Such a cool thing. What a great thing our community is, and the internet is, to bring all these people together from all walks of life. It's amazing seeing people from all over the world interested in United States cases. Like Luigi Mangione has international appeal for sure, but even the Idaho 4 case has people like Harsh Reality in Great Britain, covering a U.S. court case that really has nothing to do with, Brits, right? You would think. So super cool, super awesome. I think that's it for the night. I hope I'm not missing anything. I've covered a million times how you can subscribe. You can become a member for $3 if you want, and you can get member-only content. But I give everything pretty much for free. It's just that member-only content might get a few look-aheads before it goes live to the general public. And there are some things that are for members-only, like stuff that I'm just not ready to talk about to the general public, but I'm thinking about. I might let you know in the behind the scenes, like, hey, I don't know if I've vetted this enough to go live with it, but here's what I'm thinking. So those kind of things. Japan is so clean. Oh, nice. From Arkansas. So nice. All these people from all over the place. Super cool. Portland, Oregon here. Nice. I could drive to go see you in a couple hours. Anyways, so thank you, everybody. I'm done wrapping up. I hope that I didn't miss anything. I feel like I'm missing something, but I hope I didn't miss anything. New video got posted this morning, and 2 chapters of the Idaho 4 When the Night Comes Falling by Howard Bloom. Again, let me remind you, I'm not saying Howard Bloom is an authority. We're reading books and watching documentaries. I do a lot of deep dives on documentaries. I've covered all the documentaries on Luigi Mangione. I've covered even the folk hero episode of Law and Order on Luigi Mangione. I cover the documentaries on Brian Koberger. I do deep dives, analysis. I talk about them. I'm going to do more actually snips from it. Like, I've been just talking about the documentaries. I'm going to start adding in video clips so you can actually see that as well. Because again, every day I'm trying to improve my channel a little bit. So you should see the production value slowly going up as we build a thing. We're all doing a thing here together. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great day, because it's for me it's day. And I'll see you guys, if not sooner, tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on the live. Catch you later.